Dear folks, welcome. This is already our second stream with Civ 7 and our new game, with the new big update, with the Inca, with DJ Pachacuti, and with the one and only Hamburg native, with Matsumen.
Hello everyone, greetings to all of you.
Greetings from Hamburg, and of course from Cologne as well, and from our Inca Empire, which wants to expand in a big way. We are here with a view of Cusco, and we have already founded Tropenholz and Wüstenschiff. And if I remember correctly, there's a settler on the way somewhere around here, but I can't see him right now. Or did we want to build him? Let's check again here. Currently, he's only producing a monument, and I think we haven't built the next settler yet, right? Oh, right, we also have to raise the settlement limit by 1. For that, after writing 2, we need to go down to irrigation here. So you can actually found a city before that, but there are some minor happiness penalties. It's not catastrophic either, Matze.
It's not catastrophic. With the latest updates, there's no more capping. So for every settlement above the limit, I think you lose 5 happiness in all settlements. And unhappiness just lowers the yields.
I thought it had always been like that every extra settlement gives every settlement 5 unhappiness.
That's correct, but it was capped. So at some point, I think the game stopped deducting after 35 penalties, and some people really enjoyed that and conquered half the world, but now it's no longer capped.
Wow, I didn't know that. How do you feel about there being such a limit looking back? Why did they introduce such a limit? Do you understand? I think...
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. My warmongering side said, well, if I'm already conquering the world with the Mongols here on my Pangaea map, then I also want to have every single settlement somehow. And it really helped that at some point there wasn't even more discontent, because of course it's very difficult to play against that. That's no longer the case. You now need new strategies, and conquering the whole world isn't so easy anymore.
Now we also have the game's background sound. Sorry for the small mistake at the start. Battle error. We wanted to settle somewhere up here, so we're building a settler here, which will be ready in 5 turns. And with the scout here, oh, and down here, he couldn't make any more progress. Do you think it's enough if we send the settler up right away, accompanied by just this one warrior? I think so. I think playing boldly or even daringly is a virtue.
So Civilization 7 is perfect for you now, because before a settler could just be stolen, but now he can defend himself, so if it comes to that, he'll just die. No other Civ can just take him over that easily. Of course, there are always special rules, but we're a bit more protected than before.
Open fire on this little ship here. Oh, very nice. Start it up front and give the order. What were we planning to do with that guy? I think we wanted to sneak over to the other side somewhere around here. There was a ship there before. Let's go into the water here and see if we can go up the river. Next turn. North Mormon thought he saw a foreign settler east of Cusco in the water. Up ahead somewhere. Let's observe the situation. So it wouldn't surprise me now if a settler came from the right, from the colleague over Ibn Battuta from Matze.
Yeah, the AI, actually all the players, they really want to found lots and lots and lots of towns. And right now they're also not afraid to settle right under our noses. Unfortunately, that's something that still happens very often. But we have to get through it.
So let's expand the town up here. We can head towards Tawama and build it up a bit. Here's a resource we can already get. These are crabs. We won't get that yet. Those are rubies, 4 more gold. If you only have +7 now, that might be a good choice, right? Yeah.
I'm in favor of that too.
We're leaving those 2 out on purpose because we need them. They don't do much for us. But as Empire resources, as second tier ones, if they aren't assigned, they still have the nice effect of helping with satisfaction a bit and boosting our income. Not much, but you take whatever you can get. Has anyone ever been able to rightfully accuse you in your life of being a spendthrift? Matze, are you someone who wastes money?
Unfortunately not. Even here in the game, I regularly get a reminder. Dear Matze, we have a lot of gold in the treasury. Please spend some. I said yes, I still wanted to buy buildings, units, and more. So I tend to forget that there's gold somewhere. I love collecting and hoarding gold, but spending it not so much. And that's why there are no accusations of wastefulness.
Look at how we met. We already knew Lady Hatshepsut before. Now we know where one of her cities is, namely Zerta. And the graphics are always gorgeous and breathtaking. Personally, I only find it a shame when there are too many units on the map. Then I always lose track very quickly. Let's expand a city again. It's our capital, Cusco. Cusco is already very good. We could connect gold. And we would get 1 gold, 2 happiness in every settlement, 1 gold, 1 happiness in every settlement. It's worth it now. Oh, so we need to go down the food path first. Food or production? I got food from the other settlement, right? That's why we don't have it yet.
The food, we only get the food once we've chosen a specialization. Well, yeah, we could talk about this for a long time. It'll take 14 turns until the next expansion. I'd rather say we're in the phase for more food. Really?
I was just about to conclude the exact opposite and say, if it takes 14 turns anyway, then we'd rather grab the 3 production points, because when you only have 18, they weigh much more heavily.
Yeah, I think we can argue both ways. Close your eyes and do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then we've found the right spot.
I'll just click somewhere. That's how I always do it in Civ. Most of the time, nobody notices. Well, up here we can get a resource, Troppenholz. Wonders are built faster with buttresses. That's the resource. This up here is, what do you call this? Hardwood. Build ships faster. It doesn't really matter to us. Feel free to focus more on happiness and grab a research point up here, Matze. Yeah.
With pleasure.
I have to say, in Civ 6, I sometimes thought longer about which direction to expand in and where to send a builder. I don't want to say that it doesn't matter in Civ 7, but at least I think it has become less important.
I find that very interesting because in Civ 6 the city borders grew automatically and you could hardly influence where everything expanded. And it was a bit of a question which terrain tile you focused on within the city borders. Now at least we can influence it.
We met someone new, and it's the top spy master, yes.
Niccolo Machiavelli at your service. In what way can you serve me? Do you mean in what way could I be at your service?
Also very beautifully voiced. And let's send him a positive greeting and throw 20 influence out the window. And we had, well, we want 170 influence to charm the city-state, and we always wanted to have 230 in reserve so we can react to a CV if necessary. I would stick with that, Matze, with this concept.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
North Bourbon believes there is only one true master of espionage, and that's the infamous Machiavelli.
Yeah, possible.
Oh, fighter. Absolute chaos over there. Is this a war? Are they fighting each other? Could you see it here, Matze?
Yes, we can display that.
No, no war. Just unfriendly. Unfriendly to neutral. They must have been barbarians? Moved around a bit up top. We've uncovered Rome and apparently the northern border of this continent. We're playing on a fractal map, and this is unorganized chaos, Matze.
Absolutely. It's totally unpredictable what can happen with this new map script. It's a lot of fun.
Alright, and we can build... first of all, I actually like the step pyramid. It's a relatively early, unique improvement that not only gives science, but also happiness. And that's for every adjacent river tile. That can be quite a lot. Alternatively, you can always do that too. Honestly, I would do that.
Should we take a look beforehand at how many terrain tiles we have that are attractive? With the mountains, it should actually be pretty good, but let's just get a better sense of it.
So again, we need 2 science. This gives 2 science. It says it must be placed on an existing improvement on terrain tiles with natural appeal. That means usually on a happiness symbol, right?
Exactly, and there is now also an appeal map mode. You can see that pretty quickly too. Everything that's green, light green, or dark green, and where there's no bonus resource on it because we can't place it there. So it has to be something like a simple sawmill or a mine. That's where we could build it.
We could build one here, but there's no river here, just a navigable river next to it. Is that possible? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Yes, both rivers count.
Are you sure? Shouldn't I check?
Yes, no, you don't need to check.
And down here there's also one next to it, but no, that doesn't work. Those are 2 resources. So here in Cusco there's only one, so 1 terrain tile with a river and 1 without a river, and there are already buildings on them. And up here, Tropenholz with rivers. Are there any up here? Yes, there are several tiles here that we could use. 1, yes, there would actually be many here. Can 2 be next to each other? I think so. In deserts, they can stand together, and they also look good in Wüstenschiff. So I would say, Matze, it's worth it.
Yes, very nice. That also helps us when we build this unique improvement. That we collect some tourism for the culture victory, because that's how we get the points. Tourism also through these unique activities.
The best and the brightest, an event. And we have the choice between 25 science and all libraries permanently giving 1 production point. We have 22 every turn. It's once again one of those notorious micro-tiny bonuses that Civ 7 likes to hand out, and in the end, after you've made the decision, you wonder why you even thought about it. Let's take the library.
Research is valuable only if you can apply it. We'll take the library.
A settlement can't defend itself. This is Cusco, here comes an enemy. Could they just... Then let's build a unit. Specifically a fast slinger. Can we get through up here? Unfortunately not. We'll have to take a long detour. Going through the city-state isn't possible either. Yeah.
Or we negotiate open borders and say, hey, I want to take a look further north.
Yeah, we could do that. We'd need to do that again next round. So, and there's a celebration day, meaning a festival and a celebration. And I would say, Matze, let's get ourselves a 20 food bonus, because at the moment we're only building buildings in the 1 city we have. We're currently building units there.
Yeah, food.
Does it sound greedy when we say food?
I think it sounds completely natural. I don't know how it is for you folks, but food isn't a bad thing.
Yes, indeed. So, and why are they getting up close and personal with us here? No. We have an astonishing number of units on the move. We can fire once there. Yeah, it's good that we're building units here. Take the settler to the right. I would actually build several units in a row right away. And then we'll thin them out a bit here. And then the question would be, Matze, if we could do the next one. That's so nice. Greetings to Indie Indigo. Thank you so much. Noble gesture. Indigo is just giving you 5 subscriptions. Thanks to Indigo. The gifts went to Multi RJ, that's Argus, and Vilantama, Siggy, Gundaron, Gundam, and of course Webe2 as always. Sending lots of love to Indigo. I really appreciate it. Great gesture. Thank you. And I could imagine that next we'll try to take over these city-states here. Because otherwise they just keep sending units at us all the time. Yeah, and they slow us down anyway and stress us out. Right?
I think that's a good plan. We'll need a few more units for that, and then we can get started.
Are you ready to fight on the front lines, or would you rather politely let others go ahead?
Yeah, you don't even have to push ahead. I think true greatness is shown by letting others go first.
Yes. There. Open borders, we're going through once. One turn later. Sapalot writes, is it just my subjective feeling, or has Civ 7 become noticeably more challenging since the update? How do you perceive that?
I actually do perceive it as more challenging, so
I
can't really say exactly what makes me feel that way, but when I'm in a private match, I do notice it. You can't just breeze through deity. You have to think a bit more than you might have had to before. I'm really happy. The developers also said it will be more challenging. How exactly did they do it? By changing the advantages you get as the frontrunner or opponent here, or through other tricks, I'm not sure. Maybe the AI has simply gotten smarter. But that generally makes us happy rather than annoys us.
A shout out goes to Menegar, and many thanks for the 25th sub. Hello Menegar, thank you. The settler is moving up there. So, heading north, and here we'll follow the road. One more turn, let's check for battles. Oh. The essence of all beings
is the earth. The essence of earth is water. From water came plants. From plants came humankind, and from humankind language.
I just have to handle my coffee cup right now. Mats, Roman and I are drinking coffee in sync, or is it tea for you?
Water, pure water in these temperatures. Even though we're on a hill, it's still very warm.
Yes, we can build a garden if we focus on happiness, settlement limit increases, hanging gardens. Do you actually like to build lots of wonders in your own Civ games?
I really like that. I still think it's very cool, and they also bring very powerful advantages. However, you really have to think carefully about what you can realistically get from them, because we're not the only ones racing for the wonders.
The screams of the dying in the background become matza. While I'm working on world wonders, I commit 1 or 2 murders. That's how we divide up the work. And we can expand the town once more and see where we go from there. We could add an oh well here, so this is a settlement, not a city. And that means the production is converted into gold, as shown here as well. That means I wouldn't necessarily focus on production, but I would like to focus on happiness and definitely on research, because that gets passed on. We could grab this tile up here, right next to this city-state here by Matza.
I think that's good, and then we can soon build our new improvement there. I think it'll work quite well there too.
We'd have to buy it then. We have 340 gold. The step pyramid costs 160. Yeah, I wonder if it would make sense to maybe build it in a settlement that's not necessarily next to enemies who might be into raiding as well, Matze. So should we always use Tropenholz?
Yeah, of course, we can definitely do that too. It's important to note that with the latest update, the costs will now scale if you get multiple of the same improvement in the same town or city. It will keep getting more expensive so that you can't just cover the whole map with them.
Interesting. We'll get these two here. We'll start up front here. This is what the beautiful step pyramid looks like. Was the codex just assigned automatically? That can't be. What do you say about that?
It was actually assigned automatically. Oh,
It's assigned there. There it is.
this window is extremely confusing. Hopefully it will be adjusted again in one of the next updates. And I also find it very unfortunate. Unfortunately, I have to say that here too. I assume you feel the same. With all your great works, you can't pull up any information on them, and there aren't any nice texts for them. All the things we had in Civ 6, that was something. It felt a bit nicer when you got a great work there. Here, it's just a small symbol in an overview.
This is indeed incredibly confusing. Because you open this window to check whether all the great works are placed in the appropriate slots, in the building slots, in the cities. That's the only reason you open it. You just want to check if everything fits, right? At least at the beginning of the game. Later on you might open it to see if it's worth investing in more works, but that takes a while. And then you see the great work twice. At first glance, it appears twice. And depending on whether it appears twice, here or here, the duplicate is then assigned here on the right. And there's no added value in it being displayed twice. Right? There's absolutely no added value, so if it's not assigned, then it should be listed here on the left in a drawer. It has to be assigned, right? And then there are even crazier details like the command turn off up here, which as a command means please turn it off, but it's already turned off. None of this makes any sense at all. It's a complete mystery to me. Next check Matze. Archers.
We want to take a military approach, bronze working, and possibly in the long run the wheel will help us if we don't want to stop at the city-states, at the independent powers and maybe go further. I don't know. I'm just a little warmonger on the right shoulder of our Pachacuti, but you can be prepared for anything.
So I'd like to heal here. For that we'll get out of here first. We'll stay here. There's actually a settler on the move. They want to settle up here too. Now the question is, how do we get there? How do we get up there and survive? We can't move onto the river. Well, sure, we can move onto the river. We won't die if we get attacked, but it's still stupid. We could go here and then fight our way through like this. Over here, Matze. And say it doesn't matter whether he's been shot or not. The main thing is he survives. So our sympathy for the settler doesn't go so far that we want to protect him from violence. We just want him to keep functioning, and he can function even with serious injuries.
I think we can also put the warrior on the same tile as him. Then the warrior will be attacked instead of our settler. That gives him a bit more protection.
Escort. Do you have the impression that the people who serve us have really grown on us? Yeah, we care about their well-being.
Are we live or just talking privately?
We're live right now. Matze, my peacemaker.
Yes, well, your well-being is very, very important to me, folks. You are welcome to continue signing up as recruits, as settlers who say, we want to take over a new land. So we will take the best possible care of you and never put you in unnecessary danger, honestly.
Yes, exactly. So, and now we're heading left here, and we can just kill these guys here. We had already fired there. And on to the next round. Northbourne is still worried that the other settler is faster. That also depends on how this ship behaves right now.
Syncretism is the borrowing, affirmation, or integration of concepts, symbols, or practices from one tradition into another.
God, why did they bring us here again, Matze?
This is now a new feature with Test of Time, and with it we can, in our culture tree, or rather right away when we select Syncretism, steal something from the other civs we're somehow connected to. And below you see the Syncretism option, and we can either confirm that we want to stay with the Inca, or we can get special units from the Maya or the Mississippi Empire or their unique infrastructure, and we can only select this. We can only do this once per era and only make one choice. And the choice should be well considered. And yes, as I said, it's only available for those civs that you play outside of their peak era.
What does replaces 2 units mean?
We currently have 2 melee units, so we know that they will automatically be replaced, or rather, 2 spearmen are on the way for the Jaguar Slayer and will be converted into the new unit automatically.
That means there's no micromanagement where you can decide who gets converted where. The program handles that automatically. And if we produce more units later, will every second one also be converted?
No, all units will completely replace our standard warrior then, and that's just our standard archer or slinger could be the Hulshul, which will then be completely replaced.
And will they be upgraded in the tech tree to higher levels through research just like the normal units? Yes, I usually really like ranged units, but in Civ you can often only use them to a limited extent, depending on where the line of sight is or where the oval is and so on. That's why I tend to swear by melee units in Civ, I have to admit. So with 2 ranged units to choose from here and a spearman, it only half works for me, I have to say. Alternatively, there's the burning arrow. So it's an all-rounder unit because it also has bombard strength, which the normal ranged units also have, but theirs is low and here it's a bit higher. And I think that could be interesting. And the addition, for 2 turns the tile is burning. On terrain tiles, does that mean the entire terrain tile he's standing on is burning? Or does it mean that the terrain tile he's shooting at is on fire for 2 turns and can't be defended well?
Exactly, so I hope he doesn't set his own terrain tile on fire, but the one he's shooting at, and that's usually how it's handled. I haven't experienced yet that the flaming arrow, that we've shot at ourselves, thank God. The people who do that are well trained on our side. And the terrain tile that gets hit, that makes it so that the units standing on it or passing through it in the next 2 rounds will take extra damage.
The 10 in settlements whose city center borders a mountain. It's a nice passive bonus, but it's also relatively small, just 10 more food. That's what I'm claiming now. Suppose that's true for every other settlement. For me, that's not a killer bonus that you go for. With the one up front, with the thing about the burning terrain tiles, that the bombardment is strong, I think it's cool that it sets a terrain tile on fire. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not sure if that really helps us with micromanagement, because I can imagine there are situations where it's annoying, where you want to advance onto a terrain tile that you previously set on fire and then you can't really do it. Then there's this unique Maya science building. Am I correct in assuming, I'm asking like Robert Lemke, am I correct in assuming that this building will remain after the change of era?
Definitely. And we also get tourism for that.
Then I think Kuna, also in terms of the name, I would have spelled it Kumu, but Kuna is okay too. Then I actually find that quite likable, yes?
Those are buildings, so Kuna and Yalav. If we build both of them on the same tile, we'll even have the Maya Special District, which I won't pronounce now, in the settlement, and we'll keep it. Of course, we can only build them in cities, so currently only in the capital, and if we upgrade another town later, then there as well. But I also think that this is a good choice for us.
And are we taking all 3 plots of land here at once because they're connected and fall under Maya? Or are we picking just one?
Yes.
Why is that a padlock?
That's because we went in through the preview just now. That'll likely be patched out later. And we have it, it's now unlocked, and at the turn change there, here it says the critical choice, and suddenly it's unlocked.
Sorry. I just found that unintentionally funny. And I kind of lost my composure there. Please forgive me. Yeah, okay. Alright. Then let's go with Maya, specifically infrastructure Matze, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'll quickly answer a question from the chat about why we only have Maya and the Mississippi Empire as other cities here. That actually depends on our current civ, because only where you have these natural paths unlocked, for example, for us as the Inca, can you play the Mississippi Empire or the Maya. Then we always have the option to switch to the Inca when changing eras, and that's why we can only steal the unit from there. We can't get Greek, Roman, or any other things from other eras. And so, in my opinion, it's limited really well so that you're not overwhelmed by all the civs and you have a much better, more satisfying selection to choose from and can make your decision there.
So, and that's what we can get, a unique quarter. That happens when you place these 2 buildings on the same tile. That's how it is. And we'll continue with these are 2 policies. What do we have on offer up here? We could do mysticism too. But I think we have a growth focus in all settlements at the moment. Up here as well. Exactly, the growth focus is everywhere. That means this would be a decision we could definitely make. Well, actually, I'm in the right place. That we unlock the Clan Networks card through Mysticism 2, or we go in the direction of Tactics, and then we get a policy card that we can use to build our units faster, and I think 30 is already significant. I'd choose Tactics, Matze.
Yes, but for that we first need discipline, and that gives us a free general who will also help us a lot when we make a defensive attack.
Great. Next production. And dear folks, please don't steal Matzomanix's attention away from me in the chat. He's already busy keeping an eye on the YouTube viewers as well. So please don't tempt him too much. Should I start building here? One of these buildings or units? I'm for units.
Yeah, so right now I would also say units first, because that's our short-term goal. Then we still have the altar as an option, which we still haven't built, where we're still waiting to benefit from the Pantheon. And then I would say the next step is the other buildings, or rather, those special buildings that we can build.
He commits manslaughter. And with the slinger up front, we're just healing right now, nothing to do. Let's go up here.
Turtles.
And with them, we wanted to look for a place to settle in the north. And we probably want to do that up here. I'll just take both of them with me. Unfortunately, you can't group them together. Somewhere up here we definitely did well. We definitely arrived well. Let's go up here. Let's go up front again. Trying to find exciting things, and I'll heal for another turn. Hello, Command. Command Danger, thanks for the kind words, and thanks again to Milligar for the 25th subscription. Milligar says he played a lot of Civ during the holidays, and believes, among other things, that he won thanks to our tips, Matze.
Wonderful. That's always nice to hear. And next time, go ahead and get another win right away.
There. This is a settlement, which means here we benefit more from food and happiness. Is there an exciting resource anywhere? No. But here you can build the thingamajigs everywhere, the step pyramids, right? So let's just go here. We have 220 gold, since we don't necessarily have to buy a settler. I say we buy another one for 240 gold next round. Move up here. Oh, look, a little town was put right in front of us. We can move up there to avoid it. They were very early and quick, yeah, Matze? You always want to see violence as the solution for all problems. And I feel the same way. If we settle somewhere up here, you'll definitely get to the water the fastest here, for sure. That just happened. He's slower, but why?
The settler has 3 movement points here, so in case of doubt, something might get away from him.
More units do cost maintenance, but these units here don't require any maintenance. The tactics and the following better units will take a little longer, 11 more turns. So that we have this under control here. If it's not under immediate threat, can you imagine? We'll march up right away and then try to capture Kutai Matadipura so we can straighten out the border here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's great, and then we've already practiced a bit, and then we'll move on towards Tuma.
Honestly, I'd build a few more warriors. I don't fully trust the slingers there. And I think we now have enough influence to try to flip this cultural city-state here. At the moment, no one is courting them yet. We need 204 influence. Come on, let's do it.
By the way, that also scales, so the next one, as you can already see, will now cost 238 influence. You can't keep doing that endlessly either.
Maybe we should have picked Babylon, but now it's too late. It is what it is. Babylon would have been faster. La Olala, another hostile one. That seems, it all looks very much like Pangaea, doesn't it, Matze?
So, together with 3 other civs here, we've already found a combination that doesn't happen that often. That probably means that the distant coasts, which we don't even know yet, the faraway lands, won't be settled by that many civs. So it's very exciting. Everything is very random. How big the maps are, I mean the continents, how interwoven they are, how many there are as well. So we have to think about it a bit, let ourselves be surprised, but there's definitely a lot of space.